fucking disgraceful. And here's the point where any regressive or sort of quasi-regressive person, all they're hearing right now is energy fields. So all they hear is white guy speaking angrily, forcefully about black people. I don't like this. So now they want me to say something like, wasn't Martin Luther King great? Wasn't it fun when Muhammad Ali would talk shit? He was a great man. Don't you love Aunt Jemima's syrup? Her maple syrup is the best. Oh, black people are amazing. Oh, Will Smith is a very funny and charming man, is he not? Oh my goodness, I had the most lovely conversation with the guy working at Subway down here. A guy named Daryl. I actually did. Black guy. Lovely man. I love black people. Not all. Oh, not all. And some of the not all are the people in this chart. Not those guys. So once again, it's just anybody talking about a problem. If you talk about a problem, guess what? Poof, you're the problem. In the minds of millions, that is the phenomenon that takes place. Keep that in mind as you traverse your way through life.
Black people need to stop committing crimes, and black people need to stop committing crimes, and...
Yeah, and here's another great misquote and sentence fragment. Yeah, black people need to stop committing crimes. Yeah, yes. Once again, they are trying to portray me as a guy who just makes that statement, just in a vacuum. So in other words, I'm at a shrink. He's holding up a Rorschach test. You know, it looks like some smears of paint on a piece of paper. And he says, what do you see in this paper? And I go, oh, black people should stop committing crimes. Right. Thanks for giving zero context. Thanks for not finishing my sentence, TJ. And first of all, even with the straw man, even with the sentence fragment taken out of context, it's still a legitimate statement. Yes, obviously black people should stop committing crimes. Everybody should stop committing crimes. But that's not my point. I didn't say, oh, you know what I think people should do? Stop committing crime. No, I said, if you want to bitch about police brutality, maybe you should stop committing crimes. And if you're a white pussy trying to exaggerate the problem of police brutality, then the very least you can do is mention the ridiculously disproportionate amount of crime that community commits. It fucking makes perfect sense. It is completely lucid. Are there instances of police brutality? Yes. I don't like that. That's a minor problem. Minor. Especially when you compare it to the problem of black brutality. The problem within the black community, which is widespread violence and criminality. That is a massive problem for our nation, for our society, and for the black community, because they are the victims of this shit 93% of the time. So me raising this issue is actually me defending the black victims of all this nonsense. Don't get me wrong, they kill white people way more than whites kill blacks. Oh, but that will let's tuck that under the rug. Nobody talk about that. Yeah. So the point of the matter was, these regressives, because they are guilt-ridden, because they want to exercise their white guilt, they are happy to point a finger at white cops and say, that's the problem, it's racism, it's us, oh yeah, sorry about slavery. Oh my God. When in actuality, the problem of police brutality is a nothing. It's a speck. It is nothing compared to straight up crime and mayhem committed by the subset of our society that does it the most, which is black people. That's just a fact. And once again, I love the fact. What is the alternative to black people should stop committing crimes? They should not stop committing crimes. They should continue to commit crimes. They should commit more crimes. What is your possible counter to that? You and everybody on the fucking planet knows I'm not talking about all black people. Because even in the goddamn sentence, it makes no sense. Black people who actually commit the crimes, which is obviously insinuated, doesn't need to be said. Anybody who graduated high school would know that. Need to stop committing crimes. Hello?
Things like that. And while I still don't exactly like those statements or how they're phrased, it was irresponsible of me to pull out the racism thing and say, well, this person's a racist.
And do you hear what he said? He doesn't like those statements. He doesn't like it.
Don't exactly like those statements or how they're phrased.
Do you understand? This is what it is. I am addressing an uncomfortable thing. It's uncomfortable because he doesn't like it. He doesn't like the fact that black people commit more crimes. He don't like that. He doesn't like talking about it. He doesn't like thinking about it. He definitely doesn't like criticizing black criminals. Oh no, doesn't like it.
Still don't exactly like those statements or how they're phrased.
Doesn't like how it's phrased. He wants to sugarcoat. He wants to blame us. He wants to blame poverty. He wants to mitigate it. He wants to make it less uncomfortable to look at. This is all pussy-like behavior. This is all spin. This is all a diversion, a way to not address a problem. And by not addressing the problem, you're not dealing with the problem. We can't even confront the thing because you can't talk about it in an honest fashion.
Because that's really just a way to silence someone, to end the discourse. Now, that wasn't my intention when I did it, but that was the effect. And I should have realized how poisonous that word is. I apologize to Atheism is Unstoppable. I hope that we can move on from the pettiness and drama that inspired.
Yes, we will move on, and we will move on to our second date. Once again, I was right. Now, there's a lot of weaklings out there that will say, oh, what a narcissist, what a narcissist. He said he was right. He acknowledged that he was right. He said he was right months ago. And he's still saying he's right now. What a dick. Well, I mean, granted, he is right. But how dare he know that he's right? So, yes, TJ, it's very good that you have made this realization. And once again, I accept your apology. I do not forget the damage you have caused me on a personal level. And I hope that this will enlighten you, not for you, not for your personal growth at being a sane and rational person when looking at this issue. No, because you can influence a bunch of cheeseburger eaters out there. Those people are young and impressionable. Your target demographic is 6 years old. You have a responsibility to pump good ideas into their heads. We need to harness your Cartman voice and use it for good instead of stupid and instead of backwardness. And you spinning and flailing around in a parade of white guilt and bullshit racist accusations is not progressing us. It's regressing us, which is why I have labeled it regressivism. It's not helping, it's hurting. But you seem to be on the path to enlightenment. Now, you go on in this video to drop the N-bomb a few times and to talk about how black people love watermelon and should fuck watermelons. Now, some questionable attempts at comedy. I don't even know what you're doing with Tommy Sotomayor. Good luck with that, by the way. I mean, if you wanted to talk with somebody who is speaking from the heart about real shit that's going on between the races and real shit when it comes to black crime, you thought talking to me was easy? Talk to Tommy Sotomayor. He's not going to pull his punches, and he's not going away. That should be fun to witness. So that's all for now. I wish you all a very merry white Christmas. Now that's not racist. That's a Bing Crosby song. Bing Crosby is a crooner. That is his song. That's a famous song. I'm allowed to make that reference. Everybody calm down. One other thing to keep in mind, Anna Kasparian is olive, and Cenk Uygur is, holy Christ, is he brown. That's a brown guy. See you later. Bye-bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. During the course of this evening, we're going to be appearing in many different disguises, so we thought it'd be a good idea if we introduced ourselves to you before we start without hats. Playing this instrument inside the calabash, it's called an mbira, that instrument. It's from Central Africa. That's Andrew Tracy. He's our musical director. Standing next to him is Nigel Pegram. Nigel was born in the Cape of Good Hope and brought up in Rhodesia. This is Michel Martel. He was born in Mauritius, in the Indian Ocean. This is Dana Valeri. She was born in Italy. The three other members of our company, Kendra Lascelles, he was born in Manchester. Sarah Atkinson, who was born in Bishop Stortford in Hertfordshire. and April Ulrich, who was born in Zanzibar. My name is Paul Tracy. Andrew, there's my brother. The show is called Wait a Minim, and it was born in Johannesburg. Now, you may be wondering how it comes about that we are, in fact, a South African company, when only 3 of us, Andrew, Nigel, and myself, were born in South Africa. Well, this is because South Africa is like that. It consists of many different sorts of people. There are roughly 12 million black South Africans, 3 million white South Africans, 1.5 million colored South Africans, 500,000 Indian South Africans. There's also a smattering of Chinese and Japanese, Germans, Scottish, and so on. This evening, we're going to try and impersonate some of these different people. We're going to do so mainly by changing hats. Now, this one I've got here is a Sotho hat from Basotholand. For this evening, it represents a black South African. This one here is also for a black South African. This one here represents an Indian South African. That's for a British South African. And the hat you see on the far side there is for a white South African. Well, that's about it, so here we go.
Majesty the Queen. Hey, hey, we bring greetings to Her Majesty the Queen. We bring greetings to Her Majesty the Queen in the day.